live in this dunya, you follow the orders of this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya, you will have eternal, positive, amazing, fun life in akhirah. But you need to have a good life in this dunya as well. I mean by yes, spiritual, amazing, educational, fun life in this dunya as well. Without being worried of being hurt by someone or you hurt someone else as well. To give you the perspective that you need to control yourself. You need to control your desires. Deen comes and says, yes, your desires tells you you should be jealous about someone else. No, you should not. Because jealousy, no matter if you have deen or not, jealousy is detrimental, is dangerous. You're not supposed to be jealous. Deen comes and tells us in details of our lives, right? Now you tell me, is it about akhirah or about dunya? It's about dunya. Deen comes and tells us, you need to have patience, sweetheart. It's difficult to get your education. I know. You go through a lot of stressors, but be patient, you will get it, inshallah. Deen comes and says, I know this is haram and this is tempting to listening to it or to watching it or to acting upon it, but be patient. This is better for you. Control yourself. What is it? It's good for dunya. Deen comes and says, I want you to control your emotions, your anger, the topic that we started last night. I want you to control your anger because leaving your anger unleash, letting it take you and control you, it's very dangerous, sweetheart. You're not supposed to do it. Practice to be able to control it. Is it for dunya or akhirah? Initially first. It's for dunya. Yes, when you control it, you better create a better life, and then akhirah will be beautiful, inshallah, as well. This is deen initially, brothers and sisters, that comes and help us. It's not that complicated. Some people want to take it away from you by telling you, what is the point of it? Why we have to do anything behind the Islamic rules, Islam as the best religion now, the best lifestyle. Anything comes in Islamic rules and regulations comes with reasons and hikmah. Us knowing it or not knowing it. We mentioned that before. When a patient is sick, go to the doctor, or the kids is sick, they take him to the doctor, he or she might not understand the benefit of this medicine or that therapy or anything. But it's good for them. They give them soup. The kid doesn't know if the soup is good or not, but this is good for you. Even if you don't know, it will help you. Which the majority of ahkam of Islam, we know reasons behind. We know the wisdoms and hikmah behind. But even if you don't know, there's all reasons behind them and hikmah behind. Controlling your emotions. Anger comes, one of the most destructive emotion that if you cannot control it would destroy a lot of things, including your iman. Remember the hadith from Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said in Bahar al-Anbar, volume 72, page 274, hadith 24. Ghadab, wrath, if you not control it, would corrupt the iman. The way that if you put vinegar into asal, it will be corrupted. That way. Another hadith from him, he says, the key, we said this last night, the key towards what? Towards evil. Any evil is what? Is anger, not being controlled. Because anger is a good part, we'll talk about it, has a good part as well. So when anger is wrong and it's disorder, it's bad. We all experience, anger some points in life. How and when it becomes problematic? At the moment that it disturbed your relationship with others. At work, relationship with friends, relationship with family members. It affects your work performance, your school, academic achievements, your mental health. Any moment and anyhow that it affects your relationship with others and hurts you mostly, this is out of control and this is dangerous. Look around, complaining that you don't control your anger. Do they? This is out of control probably. Are your friends telling you, why are you making a big deal? Why are you so angry all the time? This is something out of normal, most probably. Are you going to someone who can support you, help you, a psychologist, counselor says, no, you need to control your anger. If you can, I need to prescribe medicine for you. This is out of control. It's hurting your relationship. People are running away from you. Anger can be destructive and constructive. A destructive anger is what we talk about. Destroy things. Is like that flaw that we mentioned, comes and destroy things. I really want you to do some tahqiq and research about the topic of anger in Islam, one of the most important stations in mysticism and irfan, that Islam comes and says, if you want to reach the highest level of closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you need to be able to control your anger. Why is it so important? Because it's very destructive, because it's very dangerous. But if you manage it, that becomes constructive. That becomes very actually good and very helpful. When someone, let me put it this way, I mentioned this before. When you have a pain, pain is not a bad thing. Pain is a signal that something is wrong with you physically. When someone's head is hurting, is an alarm. Be careful. Something is going on. Are you dehydrated? Are you hungry? Are you getting migrated? Whatever is reason. When you're somewhere else, your heart, the back, somewhere is hurts, God forbidden, it's an alarm system Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set, tells us immediately pay attention. You need to take care of that, right? When you see you become angry constantly, it's an alarm system. Be careful what's going on with your life. Something is wrong. Something is out of balance. You're not supposed, a human being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, you're not supposed to be that aggressive and that angry all the time. You're supposed to control yourself. Your emotions, your behavior should be under your control. Not that you go to the person after that, I'm apologizing, I didn't know what happened, I lost my control. Very good that you went and apologized, thank you so much, but you're supposed to control yourself. One of the parts of the steps of forgiveness, if you want to forgive yourself, is that you acknowledge what was wrong and you promise you have the strategies not let that happen again. That is forgiveness. That is working for what? Tawbah, repentance is the same thing. You acknowledge it, you want to move forward. Ya Allah, I have these strategies, so I won't do these things again, inshallah. Otherwise, what's the concept of Tawbah, repentance? The roots then is a signal that tells you what's going on in your environment, in your life. You need to fix it. You need to change something. You make to make your life in more balance. Angry, maybe you're doing too much. Maybe you're overwhelmed with your life. Maybe it's a signal that tells us what we're supposed to do, like that pain. But if I catch it early enough, that tells me something is going wrong and I need to change it and I need to fix it. When it's out of control, then it starts hurting you in your life. It hurts you physically as well. So why do you think you become angry? Tell me. I'm going to ask myself, you ask yourself. If it's out of control. We said it can be constructive, and we're going to talk about when it can be constructive. But from the destructive perspective, why are you getting angry? Have you asked yourself? Why you can't control yourself? You know, it reminds me, when we say follow Islam, it gives you the power to control yourself. That's why. When we say you need to wake up at 4 a.m. to pray, in the middle of the sweetest part of your sleep, you need to wake up. No, actually, you guys are good. I'm going to say Salat al-Layl even before Salat. You wake up half an hour before namaz and you pray Salat al-Layl, huh? You need to be very calm. You need to have a lot of control over yourself too. Get out of that sweet, cozy, warm bed to go pray. And then in your Salat, you leave everything at work. You're in the middle of the watching TV or video games or everything. You leave everything. Allahu Akbar, that's the time of Azan, I have to go pray. You got to have a lot of control of yourselves. Credit to you. Absolutely. You go in the street, you are on your phone, you're online, something haram is there, the movie, something that you're not supposed to look at it, you said, astaghfirullah, you don't look at it. You have the credits, my friend. You have a lot of control over yourself. You probably can control your anger as well. If you have issue with that part, you probably have issue with your anger as well. How do you connect the psychological things to the spiritual things? I mean, remember, it says the root of our psychological life is within the spiritual. Ilm al-nafs, ruh. These are the emotions. We call them emotions, but these are part of ruh. Anger, jealousy, these are the ruhi things that happen and we don't control them. It goes out of ruh and soul will be out of balance. Someone doesn't pray. Someone doesn't control the anger. Someone doesn't control the other aspects of life. Well, probably in anger, they're going to have issues as well. It takes a lot of courage and bravery to follow deen that gives you. Can you give me an example? Bismillah. Bismillah. I gave you a lot of examples. I'm going to give some examples from the time of Ahlul Bayt and time of ourselves. Probably 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. One of the ulama, rahmatullah alayhi, Ayatollah Walehi Mashhad, if I'm not mistaken, he was walking in the street. He was an old guy, very old, very tiny old guy. He was walking. A guy on a bicycle, he was riding a bicycle. Somehow he got into the accident with that alim. He didn't see him, old guy, he fell down because of that accident. His amama was, thrown somewhere. He fell down somewhere else. And he's an old man. And the guy who was riding a bicycle, he fell down somewhere else as well. What do you think we should do? People do. Sometimes, the car accidents happen, come back, you start cursing each other. They said as soon as that happened, he ran this alim towards the guy. He says, "Are you okay, sweetheart? Are you fine?" Excuse me, he was riding. Excuse, you made a mistake? I'm saying he was riding. He was blind or something. He didn't see you. No, he was not. He just ran into you. You should be upset with him. You should be angry with him. You should open your eyes, man. You see, you heard me. You go and ask him, "Are you okay?" It looks like you were with the car and his would, no, you were walking. This is the personality. Sweet, amazing, nice personality. Are you okay, sweetheart? Are you fine? Do you ask yourself, are you fine or not? Where did this come from? Wallahi, he did not learn this from psychological or sociologists no, he learned it from his soul. He is the same person. Oh, another alim that I remember, that at night, his friend says we went with him, he had a majlis, at night we went to take him, it was a cold night, winter, we took him back home, and he said, "You can go," but we were waiting to make sure that he can go. We saw that he's checking his pocket, he doesn't have the key, but he sat down behind the door. Ya Allah, he sat down behind the door. Come on, ring. Knock on the door, they open. It was late at night, and his family were asleep. The friend says we purposely were outside waiting for him to see what he would do. He waited until Salat al-Fajr, Namaz Subh, so the family wake up, and then he went inside. He knocked. And then tomorrow we asked him, "Maulana, why did you?" He says, "I was late. Why should I bother my family, wake them up?" So this is, what do you call it? You see how sweet is it? How amazing. You want to just admire this personality. Where that comes from? Control over desires. SubhanAllah. I have another story I'll tell you later. Tomorrow night, maybe, inshallah. How about this? I told you this before. Malik Ashtar. He's the main commander-in-chief of the army of Imam Ali. Imam Ali is what? Is the Khalifa, army of Ummah Islam. Imagine at that time. He's walking the street. There was a young man. He didn't know who he is. Started disrespecting, spitting on him. On who? The general, the chief, commander of the army. Malik Ashtar put his head down. People told the young man, "Are you crazy? Do you know who he was? Who was he? He was Malik Ashtar. He's the warrior, that famous warrior." He started shaking. Ya Allah, he probably went to bring his army or something to hurt me. He ran after him. He saw that Malik went to the masjid. He's praying. He went there, "Please forgive me, Aisha." I says, "No, I forgive. I was actually praying for you to write. 2 rak'ah, you're praying for someone who spitted on you? Come on, you should be angry right now." What do you mean I should be angry? You need to control my anger. That's why I'm Malik. That's why Ali loves me so much. Because I am following what Ali wants me to do in action. That's why I'm so dear to Ali. The friends of Amir al-Mu'minin and Ahlul Bayt are those who act upon the recommendations of Ahlul Bayt. Your friends the same. You have a friend that when you ask them something, they do it for you. The friends of Allah, you're like your friends. You ask your friends to do something, if they always do against you, you're like, what kind of friendship is this? Allah says, my friends are those who act upon what I asked them to do. SubhanAllah. Malik, you're praying for him. Why aren't you angry? No, my anger is for somewhere else. My anger is for another time. Let me ask you now. It's a deep question. Why you become angry sometimes that you can't control yourself? Is it, you forgive me, I'm going to talk about myself. Is it because sometimes I cannot control my desires when it comes to haram? Maulana, I thought you were going to talk about psychological roots because of my childhood, because of my, I mean, these are all important. I'm a psychologist. What, I'm going to take you somewhere way higher. SubhanAllah, it just came this way. Is it because you don't follow the ahkam of, you don't have enough power to follow ahkam of Islam? Wow, I've never thought from this angle. You mean if I have power to follow deen, I have power to regulate my emotions? I'm not saying, Allah is saying. You mean if I can get away from haram, I can control my anger? Do you doubt it? I just gave you a lot of examples. Malik Ashtar, he didn't do yoga to have control with anger. No. You know what I mean. I've never looked at it from this. So you mean if I pray, no, I'm not saying pray. You're way above and advanced. If I say pray, that means I tell you 2 times 2, 4. You're like, don't disrespect me. I mean, pray on time. Yeah. So you mean if I pray on time, I have this much control over myself to say no to everything else at the time of azan on time. And I say, that's the time of Allah. And I need to talk to Allah. I can control my emotion, my anger. Wow. These are all related to each other. Is that the reason we have deen? Interesting. Let me ask again. Why do you become angry sometimes when you can't control it? Go back to your life and lifestyle. Go to your spiritual lifestyle. How's the status of your spirituality? Following Allah. Did you know, according to research, I did research, go Google it. The roots of anger, when we say anger this way negatively, that means unleashed, destructive, anger. Do you know the root of them are certain other issues such as jealousy, such as lack of confidence, such as lack of the issue in self-esteem, such as being so sensitive, such as being suspicious about others. Yeah. Such as being selfish sometimes. What these are the things that we hear a lot in religions that tell us, be careful, don't be jealous, don't do this, have self-esteem. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, when you said confidence, self-esteem, I remember the other day you said, we learn confidence from Mom Hussein in Ashura. Yeah, you remember correctly. When Imam Hussein stands up and says, Hayhat min adh-dhillah, far away from us is humiliation. This guy, Ibn Ziyad, not Ibn Ziyad, this Ibn Marjan is someone who, we don't know who is his father. This guy is choosing me, pushing me to have two options, either humiliate myself and accept what he's saying, or death to us is better and more sweeter than the things that they are calling us. Confidence, self-esteem, and the belief system. You see how they're related to each other? You see how deen can come and correct you? But, well, no, on the other side, dunya is very, very distractive. It distracts us all the time. Yeah, that's the thing. Because shaitan is not sitting down. Shaitan says, I swear to you, Allah, I swear to your izzah, honor, and dignity, I will distract your ibad and your slaves and your servants from your path. He's sitting there, he's doing his job. So I can control myself then. Yeah. You know, here's the thing. Having control over anger or other emotions can come from other ways as well. So if you see someone who's not religious but is very calm, can control themselves, yeah, it can come from other places as well. But to what extent? To what extent? Everybody has a limit, right? You know what does it mean? That means this. You want to have a job, you can go get some associate degree or something, or just experience somewhere without a degree. You can go get a job. But the other alternative, better ways to go years and years in the university, study educationally, foundationally, learn in education, and then internship, and then yes, you're different than the guy who isn't. Do you get my point? Yeah. Both can lead to somewhere, but the difference between this and that is a lot. To what level? That when it comes to the level of Malik Ashtar, someone has that much power, can control himself? Oh, that comes only from deen, believe me. Someone comes and disrespects Imam Hassan and he can control himself, and that only comes from deen, nowhere else. Someone comes and disrespects Imam Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and ashab and the companion, they're going to come and hurt the guy. So says, no, leave him. Rasulullah, he'd been tortured, exiled from his city, his friends and family being killed and being murdered. And at the time of victory of Mecca, now he has the power, he can take the revenge and kill all of them and torture all of them. Why? He forgives them. That only comes from deen, nowhere else. What is the reason that you can't control your emotions? Is it spiritual reasons? I need to go look at myself. I need to sit at a table and put all myself on the table, alone, all alone, only me sitting here, my consciousness on the other side, Allah on the other side. Allah, you be the judge, all right? Okay. You're always the judge. Okay. So let me bring up. You're the conscious, right? Okay, be careful. let me put out. How's my power? How's my willingness? How was my energy? How's the way that I am following the right and wrong? How's my deen? How's my iman? Let me review it again, everything. Have you done that? Have you? Have you had a time with yourself? I know that social media and devices, they don't let us have time, but very unfortunate. When was the last time you sat down with yourself, thinking about yourself, without beep, 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 notification? I need to have free electronic devices time for myself. To sit down and think about myself. Okay, so sitting down with myself and I started thinking, how's my spirituality? And maybe if I have issue with my friends, is it because of my spirituality? If people don't want to talk to me, is it sometimes? Yeah, maybe. At least it's worth it to check it, right? Let's check it out. Ya Allah, can you help us to have more control over our anger? Yeah, he's saying yes, definitely. Do what I'm telling you to do. I will help, please. He's saying that I already told you how. I still help you and support you, because a lot of it is just the willpower that I need to give you. Yeah, because I remember in Salat you said Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. I only ask you for istana. Oh, those who pray, yeah. Okay, so Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. So that means I ask you the power, I'll give you the power. All right. You promise you want to follow your benefit, because I don't benefit you, I benefit myself. Yeah. So you promise me, Allah, you promise me that you want to benefit yourself, then I will help you to benefit yourself. SubhanAllah, what are you? I promise that I want to benefit myself, yeah, through your orders, yeah. Then I'll help you to have more will and power and self-esteem and confidence because of deen and iman. That's the best life of soul, guaranteed, because look at the samples, right? I mean, the role model examples. I promise you, Allah, can you help me? Yeah, I'm gonna follow. You know, I might have some shortcomings. I'm telling you ahead of time, in advance. I might have some. I don't want to do it intentionally, but I might just, yeah. Tawbah, okay. I repent from all those past things, but help me. All right. Thank you so much, by the way, for giving me this chance. For giving me this opportunity that I have you. That's amazing. That's deen, yeah. I'm so blessed to have this deen. Yeah, we are all blessed to have this deen. We're so blessed to have Hussein. We're talking about these things, you know why? Because of Hussein. We're doing these things because the Majlis, and on behalf of Imam Hussein and the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, he is the reason we're together. How amazing is the life of someone that even after the Shahada, when they're not in this dunya, they benefit people. You see how Hussein is benefiting you? You're hearing these things. That is about your dunya. Because of what? Because of Hussein. I'm benefiting more than you. Hussein put the minnat on me. That I'm sharing these things that I know a little bit with you. I owe you, personally, I owe you that you are the beauties of Majlis of Imam Hussein. I always say, you're the adornment of Majlis of Imam Hussein. May Allah bless you, inshallah. You're the stars of the sky of Majlis of Imam Hussein. You're the honor for me that I talk to you. Ya Allah, thank you for letting us have Hussein. What Hussein? The Hussein that, if you ask me, when his head is on his spears in Sham, in Damascus, He's still looking around. He's taking his concern about his daughters and his family. The Hussein who feels when Ruqayya or Sakina grabbed the head of her father at night in that ruined area or prison, and she started talking to her father, Hussein, that his heart is melting because of this musibah. It's more difficult for Hussein than being shaheed, becoming shaheed in the battlefield, to see his daughter, a 3-year-old. He has this pain that when she cries, they brought the head of her father to herself. That's very painful. If me and you, we just imagine a 3-year-old, she's crying and they brought the head of the father to her. We cannot control ourselves. We cry. Imagine the father, how he feels about this. When they were washing the body of this 3-year-old daughter of Hussein, the lady who was washing this body asked Zainab, is this girl sick? Why? What are all these bruises on the body of this girl? Zainab says, no, she's not sick. These are the places that they hurt her. They hit her. They whipped her. These are the signs of that. Who would do that to a 3-year-old? Those who didn't follow Din. Those who were against Din. It's so dangerous. Those who don't have Din can be so savage and barbaric. Yes. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفناك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. Before we say salam, bring your hajat in your mind. Close your eyes. Let's go to Bayt al-Haramain. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn وعلى أصحاب الحسين ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منغلب ينقلبون اللهم عجل وليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومن الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من عوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك بحق الحسين يا الله hasten the ظهور of our Imam. Let us have the power and iman to follow din and control our desires and anger. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, those who have hajjat, give them khair hajjat, those who are sick, cure them, and those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our gathering to their soul. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة من الصلوات موتى الحسين.
Ali Ali Akbar Ali 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 Akbar Ali Ali Shab hai Payambar Ali Ali Shab hai Payambar Ali Ali
Ali Ali Akbar Ali 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 Akbar Ali Ali Shabih Payambar Ali Ali Shabih Payambar Ali Ali
Janam das jawanam marata janam dar jani
Ay Jana
Bash ke sardam marata dardam darmani
Ay Jana
Rehayatam akiyole zamak wajfani Egul heda
Ali Ali
Egul heda
Ali Ali
Shabih payambar
Ali Ali
Shabih payambar Ali Ali
Ali Ali Akbar Ali 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 Akbar Ali Ali Shabih Payambar Ali Ali Shabih Payambar Ali Ali Ay Jana
Ay Ali Akbar سر به صنوبر رعنایی
ای جانم
بر دو لبانم حمید خوانم لالایی
ای جانم
یهلالی شفدک دمی و صفدک بسمایی امید مادر
علی علی
امید مادر
علی علی
ای همچو کوثر
علی علی
ای همچو کوثر
علی 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 اکبر علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی ای جانم
راهم پریده ای سر امیده ای ماهم
ای جانم
قدم خمیده ای نور دیده بر راهم
ای جانم
یا علی ابنی فقط یجب نمناهم بطیر و خنجر
علی علی
بطیر و خنجر
علی علی
وداع مادر
علی علی
وداع مادر علی علی
علی علی اکبر علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی ای جانم
شبم فدایت کنم دعایک با حسرت
ای جانم
یوسف لیلا جان مرا بر راحت
ای جانم
حیال بسد مرزی لالاحت الله اکبر
علی علی
الله اکبر
علی علی
ای یار یار
علی علی
ای یار یار علی
علی علی اکبر علی 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 اکبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی شبیه پیامبر علی علی
سلام
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
زيارة. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا حبيب الله، السلام عليك يا خير خلق الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي وسيدة نساء العالمين، السلام على الحسن المجتبى، السلام على الحسين الشهيد، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأئمة من ولدك، السلام عليك يا مولاي يا صاحب الزمان، الأمان 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 يا مولاي يا صاحب الزمان، سيدي عجل الله فرجك وجعلنا الله من أتباعك وأعوانك والمستشهدين بين لوائك، صلى الله وسلم عليكم جميعا سادتي وموالي ورحمة الله وبركاته، صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
صلى على محمد وآل محمد.